Yes, Ahmed Tukpah, Samuel Ahmed Tukpah, Chef de Mission, Team Liberia, Tokyo 2020, and Assistant Secretary General of the National Olympic Committee. Well, it's wonderful for me since I've been with the Olympic Committee. This is my first Olympic Games, and the experience is educative, is worth mentioning. There are a lot of ups and downs, as you all may be aware, because of the COVID. This Olympic game in Tokyo is quite different from all other Olympic games. Too many counter-COVID measures, too many restrictions. But however, we are going through it. The athletes are all in high gear, and the team came prepared for all of these challenges. I've been with the NOC for about 20 years now. Yes, and this is my first Olympic Games. But it's a good experience. Yes, over the period of 20 years, there have been a lot of challenges. When we took over from the NOC, Liberia had just transitioned from war to peace. So during that period, the reconstruction period, it was kind of difficult for the sports to pick up. I'm talking about sports in general, not just football. And it has been very difficult. During the war, there were a lot of infrastructure that was damaged, even though most of them were even non-existent. The little we had were damaged, and it had a very serious effect on the growth of sports until now. We are still facing those challenges from both the federation, the NOC, and that of the government. Huge challenge to make sure. But there are individuals that are in the corridor, individual athletes, and some individuals that are interested in sports that are fighting hard and making things to happen. So if you notice over the past time since the war, it is only one sport that Liberia has been bringing to the Olympics, which is athletics. And we want to say many thanks to the Athletics Federation, their partners, and the athletes in particular for their hard work in making sure that the flag of Liberia fly at all times at the Olympics. What has inspired me is the cream of athletes that we brought. They are focused, they are more committed. Despite this huge counter-COVID measure, they are adhering to the rules that is laid down by the organizing committee and the Tokyo government. And again, we are looking forward to a good competition. That's from the athletes themselves. They have showed us records that we've reviewed have showed us that we have one of the best athletes in the world, some of the best athletes in the world. Okay, even though they may not be the top as expected, but they are prepared for a huge competition, and they themselves are willing to enter that framework in competing with their international counterparts. Another thing that really inspired me is the teamwork. The teamwork from everybody, including yourself. Okay, we just been talking on emailing and talking on phone, but the level of work that you guys are putting in to get for us to transition from one era. Now we're talking about Gold Team Liberia. From now on, all of the activities at the Olympics will be on the internet, will be on social media. We are talking about establishing a web page that you guys are working on. Hats off to you guys, very good. And we can see a little transition going. And the Liberian people now will get to know exactly what happened at the Olympics, like in the past, after the Olympics, and then everything is just as done. As we speak now, back home, people are on top of things. Everybody wants to watch the Liberian team running. Unlike before, we go to the Olympics and no one will hear anything. Now the press, the media are involved, the Liberian people are involved, people are calling us when the team will be running. So that's inspiring. My first Olympic game, serving as chef de mission, to see all of these things happening is highly inspiring. I don't want to attach a time frame on it because sports development, the NN society or NN atmosphere, it has to do with planning. You have to do with actual planning, short-term, long-term, medium-term and long-term planning. And all of that also include infrastructure. It include building up the technicians. They include talent identification and talent development. There's a huge package that is involved in developing sports. There are sports that Liberia is blessed with huge talent. Our problem is a sustainable program. A sustainable program, a very holistic, sustainable program that will involve all of the stakeholders, including you, the media, including the public, including the government, and including the various sports federations, and even the athletes themselves. Okay, so I don't want to attach a framework to that, a time frame to that, but I can see in the future there are other sports like basketball will come up. You have 3-on-3, you have the team, full team basketball, you have the tennis coming up, we have taekwondo coming up, judo is also trying. So in this area, merely if we focus on the individual sports, we will have a greater impact than the team sports, because the team sports are more expensive to handle than the individual sports. But again, our greatest impediment is infrastructure. Infrastructure. We could work on technicians. There are opportunities at the NOC to send coaches on scholarships, technical courses at the NOC for level 1, level 2. But if these coaches are trained and there is no infrastructure, it's in vain. That's one of the challenges. Well, if it comes to infrastructure, it's mainly it's a government initiative. Okay, this is a government initiative. It's government working along with our international partners to have this infrastructure. For us at the NOC, we just the technical arm of sports. Make sure that our coaches are trained, athletes are on scholarships, they have better environment. Okay, we run administrative courses for our federations and other things to have them prepare administratively. But if it comes to infrastructure, that should be the focus of the government in partnership with the NOC. Because if for instance, if you told the government we need a multi-purpose hall for gymnastics, how the configuration looks like. We have the technical know-how. So we come in and provide the technical know-how, how the structure, the infrastructure should be, how should it look like, what those components that should be involved. If you need a swimming pool, that will also involve diving, that will involve water polo, and the water sports. We have the technical know-how to advise the government on the configuration of those infrastructure. So this is our role. But if it comes to the actual building of the infrastructure, it is the responsibility of the government, because the IOC do not construct infrastructure. I would say not a very strong message, but an encouraging message. The world is watching you. Liberia now, if you went to the international media, Liberia now is all out there. During the opening ceremony, New York Times carried Liberia dress code. Seems to be suggesting to be the best dress code. As we speak now, the IOC is asking Liberia to provide those uniforms for the International Olympic Museum. So we are on that now. At home and abroad, all of the Liberians are asking for the schedule. They want to see you running. So remember that the world is watching you. And then go out there and prove yourself. It is you that is the flag bearer. Not I, the chef de mission. No, I'm just there at the technical arm and administrative arm. It is you that bearing the flag. It is you that will lift that flag higher. and the challenge is yours to go out there and do your best. We are asking you to do your best and not more than your best, because in this kind of challenging time, you cannot do more than your best. It is only your best you can do. Thank you.